and today we got to play Shake That City. Now, this one was part of the AEG game night. So I think, do we have several copies of these?
No, because they didn't give us this game. It was
okay,
not in the
so
bag.
we just played it.
We just played it there, but...
yeah, so obviously it's done by AEG. But before we get started, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell because board games are amazing, and that's what we do here at Legends of Nirvana. Now, Randy, can you tell us a little bit more about Shake That City?
I can. Shake That City is a 2023 release. It's got a rating of 7.3 and a rank on Board Game Geek of 4104. It's a 1 to 4 player game, average length of 20 to 40 minutes, which is about right. Age 10 and up, I think that's probably about right too. We could probably teach Sarah because, I mean, it's not that advanced.
Oh, I thought she played with us.
No, she didn't. She opted out.
Oh, okay.
Designed by Mads Flo and Carrie Torndal Kajer. Art is by Olga Kim. It's published, as you mentioned, by AEG. MSRP for this is $39.99, but it's on sale currently, as of right now, at Cool Stuff Inc. for $20.99. That's the cheapest price. Boardlandia has it for $27.99. And then after that, it goes up to above $30 everywhere else. It's a light city building game that's got a bit of puzzle activity going on and tile placement.
Okay, awesome. All right, so let's talk about quality of components. You do have a cardboard player board.
And it does have a linen finish on it, very slight.
Yeah, and then you have cardboard pieces, and you've got only 2 cheat sheets. There should have been 4.
Yeah, this would have been handier as 4. I mean, it's a big one, so you can put it between 2 players, but if you have anybody who can't see, they're going to pick it up, hold it, and then the other players can't make their decision.
Because to be fair, yes, it's big, but the examples, you do have to look pretty. Yeah. It's fine print. All right. So that's kind of my complaint. You do have this box. Now, this is the second box, right?
That's the one that comes with it. There's an expansion, a mini expansion that comes with like the after hours or nighttime or something that has a bluish colored one. And then it has some additional pieces that add a little bit of different scenarios. There's a mini expansion that's already prepackaged into the Shake That City, or at least a variant scenario, but that adds additional with the expansion.
Okay. All right. So then you have a bunch of cardboard tiles that you'll use to place on the board. That's pretty much... Oh, and you get a scoring pad.
Yeah.
They've got this thing.
The shaker's pretty cool.
I'll give it a 6.5 because of the shaker.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is anything with rubber bands, you're eventually going to have to replace the rubber bands. So you're going to have to make sure you get something that fits that size because rubber bands get brittle.
They might as well just plan on selling replacements.
Yeah. Well, you can go to your local store and pick up a rubber band. I mean,
it depends on size and things like that.
Yeah, you got to make sure you get the size. There's two backups, but again, they're going to be the same age, so they're going to get brittle the same as the ones that are being in use. So, you're going to need to make sure you get rubber bands. I don't think they're a non-standard size.
Well, if that's the case, then that's okay.
Yeah.
But just be aware. I'm going to give it a 6.5 because of the shaker.
Yep, I'll probably give it a 6, just because I don't think the shaker's cool. That's the only thing really about it. There is a screen printed little marker for your turn, but yeah, apart from that, there's nothing special about it. It's just cardboard.
Yep. All right. So moving on to theme, you are building a city. Yep. Okay. And that's the theme.
Yeah, I mean, each type of building has its own scoring rules. And then you have some bonus tiles around the edge, but yeah, it feels more puzzly than it does city building.
I mean, you've got your different districts and you're building it, and certain districts don't like to be other districts, but certain districts have to be by other districts for it to make money or, be AKA worth points. So yeah, I mean, it's there.
Yeah, it's definitely a light city building.
Yeah, I'm going to give it probably a 6 on theme as well.
Yeah, it's definitely... I mean, the art's interesting. I like the colors choices.
Yeah, but it's still kind of basic.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6 as well. There's nothing outstanding about the theme. It definitely doesn't feel it's integrated. You're playing a puzzle that has different scoring rules. Could be anything.
All right, so moving on to the rulebook.
So the rulebook is got a nice cover, matches the box. It's 8 pages in length. It doesn't have any page numbering, unfortunately. It does have components on there to show you the pictures of those, which is nice. It has one page is completely just the setup of how to build the box, which you won't need once you've done it. They're trying to be green, so they saved like all the punch outs in the box you're supposed to save in case you run out of these tiles. They're smaller sized, so they're not going to look right on your board. But if you do run out of pieces, they give you an option, and it saves the environment a few cardboard bits. Thing is there's a big cardboard insert that you have to take out in order to put that box in there. So once it's constructed, so I'm not sure they gained net anything on that.
Well, they tried. They tried.
They did.
Give them some props.
So, but the rulebook's actually laid out very easy to read. It's got lots of examples on how things work, correct and incorrect on things. Because one of the key important things about this is everybody's boards have to be configured exactly the same, facing the same orientation. Orientation is key in this game. So I think they do a good job of explaining that in the rulebook. And they've got the variants at the end, the solo play, which it doesn't look like it's very in-depth. And then the scoring on the back, which is really easy for reference. The scoring is on the cheat sheets depicted pretty well on there in pictorial version, but this has all the text of it, so you'll want to have that, and it's real handy on the back of the
So
book.
what would you score it?
I'm going to probably give this... I'll probably give it a 9 because I don't really see much to take off for. I mean, it's laid out about as best you can get it. It's a quick read. It's a simple game though.
Okay, awesome. All right, so let's talk about gameplay. So I'm going to be starting player because I decided it. That's not how some people like to do it. So do whatever you want. All right, so I'm going to shake this.
That's the coolest part of this is this shaker.
And then I'm going to quickly press on the thing. Don't do it too long. Don't do it not enough because then you won't have enough pieces.
Or you'll have too many.
Ah,
you did it right.
I did it just right. All right, so now I have to pick a color. Since I'm the first player, I have to pick a color. But when I pick it, I'm going to do it exactly like how it's directionally placed in front of me. So I have to have 3 on a top row, a space, and then 1 in the middle.
If you're doing black.
If I'm doing black. Now, if I'm doing blue, I just have to have 2 diagonal. I do not have to leave a 3rd row. Like I can essentially play 2 blue right next to the edge of the board, even though there's technically this 3rd row here that, so I could place like, wow, these are itty-bitty. All right. All right. So I can place it like that, even though technically there's a row here and a row here that I don't have.
Yeah. It's all that matters orientation wise.
It's just the
color
color
you're choosing.
Right. So I'm going to decide there's no gray. I will take some black. All right.
Well, give me those blues over here. I'll take those.
All right.
So
now when I think about placement, I'm going to pay attention to these tiles that are around my board. Now, if I get 4 black in this row here, I can flip it over for 3 victory points. Well, I've got 3 set up coming right out the gate. So I'm going to definitely be placing them there.
Those are factories, and factories like to be next to each other, so that's actually really convenient. Now, they do prefer also to have a road attached to them, so you get 1 point if it's touching a factory and 1 if it's touching a road.
And you don't know, I could be building a road here in a minute.
Right.
So this can work out for me.
Now, the external perimeter, one thing is kind of confusing, is in order for a lot of things to score with roads, they have to touch the external perimeter, but it's not technically a road. So just having the black on the edge does not qualify as being next to a road. You have to have it touching a physical road, which are the gray tiles.
Yeah. So again, so if there were a 3rd player, they could choose any color except for the black. So if they wanted to do blue, they could do blue, even though Randy has already chosen that. It's only that first player that basically locks down a color. Mm-hmm. Now, that changes at round 13 where anything can happen.
And there's 15 rounds in the game, so for the last 3 rounds, you can choose whatever color you want.
Okay. All right, so now that everyone's placed, we're going to take these, and we're going to put them back in the thing, and Randy, give it a good go.
Yeah, before we do that, though, my blue ones, the one here on the outside does score because it's touching the external perimeters. These are the shops. They like to be touching roads. But the external perimeter does count for them, and there's rings going in for the main board. Now, on the other side, there's an alternate board, But for the main board, there's 3 rings, and you get 1 point if they're on the external, 2 in the middle or middle section, and 3 if they're on the inside. But you have to be touching a road that goes out to the external side.
Yeah.
So, yep, I got 2 rows. Perfect. So I am going to take those roads because they fit nicely in here with my scheme, and I'm going to be playing them such that both of my blues will now be triggered because I put one there and I put one here, and now my blues are both touching this road, which leads to here. This one would have scored anyway, but now this internal one does too.
Yeah. All right. Me, on the other hand, I'm going to end up doing some blues. So we passing the blues. So you'll keep going, obviously, until the rounds are over. Now, the one thing that we haven't talked about is the residents. So the residents, there were 2 points for every grouping of them. So you kind of want them to be little singlets.
Yeah. And we also have the parks. And the parks score points for being adjacent to housing or factories. Or double points for both. Yeah, but the kicker is the housing doesn't like factories.
Right. And the kicker is when the factory is next to a house, the house is worth nothing. So just kind of keeping that in mind. And that's the different... and roads are just worth a point.
Yeah.
They're worth a point. So that's the game.
Only if they're touching the external perimeter.
Right. So, yeah, correct.
Or another road that leads to the external perimeter.
Correct. So that's the game.
Well, you also have the bonuses on the external perimeter, so that can be triggered either the ones that are in on the sides are triggered by one of 2 conditions. Either the column that is with the arrow pointing to it is completely filled on the one column, or the other one has a certain number of the color that it picks on there, or the rainbow is you want 4 different colors. And then in the one in the corner, you just have to have 2 tiles of every color. That one's the easiest one to complete. But yeah, these are bonus tiles that are worth 3 points each at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's basically it. You play 15 rounds of that, and whoever's got the most points wins. Yeah, so it is a bit of a puzzler game. Yeah. I had fun. Yeah. I think Mom had a lot of fun. We played this with her. She kicked her tail ends. Yeah, it's a bit of a puzzler. It's cute. It's fine. I'm probably going to give this... I'll give it a 7.5. It's a good puzzle. Yeah, I mean, as far as the light AEG games, this is probably my favorite one they've released. You know, there's nothing meaty about it, but it's a quick, fun little city builder puzzle game. Right. And certainly, when you compare it to like Waffle Time or some of the other ones they've released, Waffle Time was fine, but this is better. Yeah, I agree. I like this one better than Waffle Time. Yeah. Waffle Time was cuter. Yeah. So it might be more friendly towards maybe some of the kids or something like that. But as far as actual playing and enjoyability, I would definitely go for this one. Plus, you have fun shaking the city. Yeah. So, all right. Well, what'd you score it? I give it. I think I would give it a 7.5 as well. Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We had an absolute blast. I hope you come hang out with us again. We'll catch you guys later. Bye. Bye.